30, we're going to get started. Okay, so I pledge allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible. That's as well. For the agenda for today, look for motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Carries. Item number 3 is the minutes for April 1st. I look for motion to approve. So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item number 4 is meetings attended. Scott?
Last week Brian T called me and him and Bruce Hudson and Tim Coleman ended up being there, met with the solar planners for the island project. So I went up and it was pretty informative. It sounds like it's gonna be a lot better deal than this one out here with the battery storage. They had some tax projections and it's gonna be very lucrative for us once they get going. It sounds like maybe 27 they were projecting to have. They're gonna probably come online in stages since it's so big, but.
When's construction tentatively starting?
Well, I think probably next year, because they had tax projections for 27 for us. And maybe sooner. I mean, they're still in the process of getting their permits finalized, but once they get their permits, they didn't, I mean, I think that was been their plan the whole long. As soon as they get their permits online, it's gonna be sold to probably, they wouldn't say, but probably to Mid-American Alliance. They said probably an energy company of some sort. But everything, and well, then they also said that I think that they're gonna put quite a bit of money into the community fund, like hundreds of thousands every year, and that's gonna be in the contract that the next company has to follow. So, I mean, they're gonna be pretty friendly, it sounds like. And then I got a phone call, I got to meet with this afternoon, solar planners for that project that I'd heard about last summer from 92 to L&M. They want to meet, and I asked them if they wanted to come to the board, and they said, no, we just want to meet with you for some reason. And I told them about our CSR requirements, and I don't think that ground will work up there, but I don't know what their plan is, but they've been working on it, so that's. Oh, then one other thing I wanted to bring up, I saw in the Hawkeye a couple weeks ago where Lee County passed a speed zone change where, and I don't know if that would work for us, but where instead of the majority of the money going to the state, now the majority of money goes to the county. I just thought, well, we need to look into that.
Well, a while ago, I mean, you might have been on the council when you did that, did a municipal infraction where if the deputies write a municipal infraction within the city limits, then the money goes to the city, not, I don't know if there's a county one. I could ask Brandon, talk to him and see if there's some kind of municipal infraction for the county.
And I don't know how much, I mean, I'm sure too.
Was it Fort Madison, the town?
No, it was Lee County Supervisors
County.
passed this. And there was gonna be quite a bit of money bringing, according to the projections, but they also have 218, probably where they're getting a lot of that from possibly, I don't know.
I guess we could talk.
But I thought it'd be worth, tomorrow I gotta go to a rest meeting, so I thought I would ask the Lee County rep, if they're more about it. But don't hurt to check into.
Well, too many counties start doing it, and states they're gonna lose out, so.
Yeah. And that was all I had.
Having the extra meeting last week. I did talk to I can't remember his name, from the solar company that's doing that project. And he also told me that if you live within 1/3 of a mile of that project, your landowner or whatever, they're gonna pay you $2,500 a year for the length of the contract. I don't know what for, but I guess to keep the community happy. I don't know.
Keep it quiet, probably.
Yeah, so
How many acres is in Louisa County, did they say, Scott?
Well, it's, I think it's like 75%.
I think it was like 3,200 or like that, and then 800 in Muscatine. Don't
Well, I
quote me
knew
on that.
It's over half is in Louisa County. I
Yes.
can't remember exact breakdown, but
Well, split somewhere.
Have they got all, excuse me. Have they got all the leases signed with all
I think so,
the?
yeah. Yeah, they've had them signed for a couple of years, from what my understanding was. They're just finalizing the permits now, I guess.
Well, I was in Keokuk County yesterday and at Sigourney, and they're trying to build one over there, and their initial offer is $2,300 an acre.
Yeah,
You kind of know about that.
Well, had a conservation meeting yesterday. Pretty much business as usual, nothing earth shattering on. They did work on a fishing habitat stamp grant that was gonna help Virginia Groves pond aeration and stuff to keep the pond going so they can keep that stock. So they did approve that. I'm sure Jacob will be in here next week to give you the lowdown on the meeting, so I won't go in depth on all that, but, pretty much business as usual. I have been talking to the solar guys here in town. I see they got their equipment out here, getting ready to put that up. There was some discussion on the placement of the array, but I think they've got that figured out. There was a problem over at the courthouse on the pedestal stand where they had it drawn. There's a gas line or something in the way, and that freaked everybody out for a couple of days, and I got God knows how many emails on it. But they moved it, I think, 6 feet one way, and then it was fine, so not a huge deal. And then I spent some time over at the courthouse, the Galveston driver's license station, talked to them. Dozen or so emails back and forth to the state. I learned way more about the driver's license station than I ever cared to know. And we'll discuss that when we get down here a little lower, but, yeah. About what I had. Public input, anybody got anything from the?
We lost a former county sheriff last week, I believe. Do you think that needs to be an official, some kind of a commemoration on that or not?
Oh, the sheriff?
Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
I mean, maybe next week on the agenda, some kind of a recognition that
That's the way, yeah.
he should.
Maybe I can get Brandon in here to talk to him about it. He knows more, Kurt, more than probably anybody. I've had a lot of dealings with Kurt when I was mayor and city councilman and everything. Instrumental in getting to jail where it was at, so. Yeah, we can do that. We'll go ahead and put that on. Anybody else? Payroll changes, we had one. I think you saw that.
Yeah.
It's like, higher on the road, but I think that was our temp guy that went full time. Item 7 is our driver's license station. I'd like to get to the bottom of that today, so we don't have to talk about that anymore. So like I said, I went over and talked to the ladies at the office and got their input. There's quite a bit more information from that office than I realized. We did get emails back from the state. I asked the state specifically if we could not do the driver's portion and only do renewals. And they politely said, no, it's all or nothing. You're not picking and choosing. I did have Taylor Collins chime in and was trying to get her to go ahead and go along with it. I will pat him on the back and say he was trying to help us out, but
yeah.
I had a feeling they were gonna dig their heels in, and they did. There's some, and I got another email drafted. I haven't sent it yet. I'll probably send it today to Taylor, because I'm not sure that they understand, I guess, what's going on. I'll just pick one item in particular that kind of surprised me. The way Beth tells it is that when someone comes in, and correct me if I'm wrong, when someone comes in and they're renewing or getting a license or whatever, and they ask them if they're on any medication. Of course, you could lie and say no. But most people are pretty honest and they'll say, I'm on this, this, and this, or whatever. You would think that once you get that information, they have to research that. They have to go in and make sure that it's not creating seizures or whatever. That there would be a website a state website that they could go to, type that in, and database would come down and it would go over and give you a red box or a green box or whatever, something really simple. Oh no, that's not there. They have to go online and Google search it.
Yeah.
Now, how stupid is that? That they have to actually Google search whether or not this medication.
Comparative driving.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a state license. This isn't a county license. So that's something that I'm gonna,
It's very time
it's
consuming.
just, this whole thing is just,
There's so much that we have to do that people don't realize. Especially like in that situation, if we feel somebody has a medical situation, then we have to send them to get a medical report. When that medical report comes back, then we have to read through it. And if it lists, and people, are on numerous medications. So then, like you said, we have to go out and Google
well, my
each
question
one
would
of
be
them.
is if for some reason they made the wrong judgment and they allowed somebody to drive it, knowing that they got this medication and they create an accident, who's liable?
Not us, the
Well-
state, but it might be. I don't know. If we have anything that we question or we find that it's something that could be a antipsychotic or anything like that could affect their cognitive abilities, we send that to the medical review board at the state, but then that delays that person. They have to come back. We have to wait for days for them to review all of that and get back to us, because they do have doctors and that review those. But
The other
It is
part of
time
it was
consuming.
if, let's say they're elderly and maybe they shouldn't be driving, but there's things that are coming back that could allow them to. Is it the lady sitting in the office? Is it their call to say, no, you can't drive, or yes,
we have to take them on a drive. If we feel
I
they
know.
can't, and then if they pass, they pass. There's lots of different
this
things
whole
to it.
thing is just
Question,
messed up.
you can find reason for any problem. We can look at reasons not to do it all day long. But what's the other county doing? How many counties don't have a driver's license station at their courthouse?
Well, Muscatine and Burlington are state run.
All right, but how many don't have one altogether like Louisa?
Well,
Dallas County
that's
is
just-
one.
That's just a number. If there's one or two, that's fine. But I'm looking at 98 other counties has the same problem we got. What do? You're asking, you're pointing out the problem.
Yeah.
Don't have an answer because I don't work over there.
Right.
But there's 98 other counties.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm trying to be as neutral as I can. And I've listened to one side and I went and got the information. I went to their office, I talked to them, I talked to the state, I listened to the people out there on the outside. I'm not one-sided, I got all the information.
Well, this is a big deal out there.
It
Believe it
is
or
a big
not, I
deal.
hear it. It's a service.
Well, I
And
get
now
it.
you're saying you make money doing it. And you plan on cutting a service that you make money doing. Well, there's other cuts you could do, and we're not into this with tax
I
thing
get
yet, so that's fine.
Well, as it sits
But-
right now, it's closed.
Yeah, it is closed.
Right.
I'm hearing more
Right.
about that than I did when you were
Okay.
trying to
Well, I'm
close it,
hearing
but I'm
it
just
too,
saying,
so-
this last
so you
week
know.
has been nothing but snowballs out there.
Right.
And I say, come here and talk to you guys. I don't think you want them people here, I'll be right on. Cause I
Come
wouldn't want
here.
to. But it's still the voice of the people saying, and you get them, you gotta get them in emails and that. But you're cutting a service that's making money,
It's not making money.
huh?
It's not making.
Yes, the state pays you money now. Now, last week you said it made money.
No, we didn't.
Huh? Yes,
No,
you
we didn't.
did. You said the state gave you so much money.
$12,000.
And how much was
Out
you
of
losing before?
49,000 that we generate.
Okay, so you generate $12,000. I don't care if it's a dollar.
Yeah.
It's still a great service for the county and you're making money, so you can't use not making money anymore. Then you turn around and you wanna drop it.
We're not making money, because what it costs to provide that service to what it brings in is, we're $25,000 short.
But the
Well,
same
probably
amount,
more than
same
that,
amount,
because
electricity, same,
Wait
the same.
Look at it this way, if your
Everything
propane
figured in,
tank had a leak in it,
Healthcare figured in, so it'd be more than that.
and you were losing $50 a month in propane, and you fix that leak, then you're gonna make how much money over the year? How much are you gonna save over the year? I mean, you're gonna save money. It's the same thing here. We're leaking money over there. And if we stop that, then we save that money. Everybody tells me, well, you're not saving anything. Well, you are saving
Do you
something.
judge every department that way?
Huh?
You judge every service department that way?
I don't know. I haven't,
County sheriff and, conservation, public health, the auditor, are they all judged that way? Whether they make money or not, or how they make money?
well, you know, we need to look at them. I haven't looked at every department yet. This was one that,
Okay, I just wondered if you know, if you made money on the sheriff, the auditor, recorders.
Most of the service in White County don't make money. Your sheriff, your road crew, your whatever, whoever you wanna point out.
Road,
We're not
yeah,
making
make money on the road crew. I mean, you know, you
From-
judge every department that way.
From listening, I went over and talked to all the girls too, and from listening to them, a lot of the issue is the state is not providing them the training, not providing them the background services they need. And I mean, there's more to it than that too, I believe.
Maybe you need to check with other counties too that
Well,
provide that.
Vicky,
But
in that way.
I was gonna speak to that point. I have been talking to the other treasurers, and this discussion is happening at those counties as well, because there's a lot of them that said we might be next, because their boards have brought it up, but they have not gotten to this point. So we've just gotten to this point faster than some of them, but I don't look for it to be far off for some of them, because there's been quite a few counties that have said to me, well, you know, you're just the first one to fall, because we're getting there
This
because
could
of.
be the tipping point that makes the state do something different.
Yes, because I think it's going to be coming, because there's a lot of frustration. A lot of counties are having these things and just haven't had it come to a head like it has here, I guess.
so maybe if more counties follow suit, maybe the state will revamp how they're doing things.
And if
we can
that-
bring it back at some
It's
point.
very possible.
I also checked on the mobile stations and they said absolutely not, that's not coming back unless it's in some kind of an emergency, so I checked on that.
Hey, Sean, a thing to add, you know, and I'm, you know, I don't have any opinion on this, but, you know, at a recent forum, it was, asked of our representatives, hey, you know, you are limiting property tax growth, because that's what the people want. And there's a question about services. And our representatives said, hey, you know, maybe we don't need all the services that we have. You know, and whether details or not, I think this is going to get worse, because these clamps are gonna come even tighter and the allowable growth is not gonna be there, so.
Well, unless there's some big earth shattering side on this side that I get a motion to overturn what we did, I guess we'll just maintain course. And we'll
You
see
could
what-
move that to the recorder's office, could you, or that service or another
It
department?
hasn't been done. I don't know that, but I don't know. That'd be a discussion we'd have to have with Tammy too. I don't know that they could take it on with their staff either. I mean, they've only got 2 people in there. I don't think they could take it on with everything you have to do with 2 people. If we can't do it with 4, they couldn't do it with 2.
Let me draft some emails to our representatives from the state and not drop it, but from behind the scenes, work on this a little bit and see if there's something that can happen. They said there's something, but they're revamping some things in that, and
They're revamping the ARTS system, which is the program that does the motor vehicle and the driver's
that wasn't
license.
gonna happen up till like 28 or something.
2028 is when that's gonna come out. So, and I'm not saying anything bad, but sometimes those things don't come out as soon as they say they will, because there's problems and yada, yada. So 2028 is the earliest that would come out. And it's still pure speculation what that's actually gonna do. So I'm hoping it's great, but we don't know that yet.
I wanna keep poking from the background, we'll see what happens. Item number 8, Adam, we got some road information,
I didn't see.
no, you don't have any road information?
Oh, yeah, just general information. Yeah, so the paving up around Grandview and, in Grandview started yesterday. They did their milling work, on, Jackson Street, which is the east-west road.
They did start in April.
Yep,
That's
they
impressive.
started yesterday, they milled Old 61, they milled the 160th Street as well. Plan is for them to be back on April 16th.
Are the roads still open even though they?
160th is not open because at the end, there's an 8-inch drop off. But everything else is open, so just go slow and it's a little bit bumpy, so. But, April 16th, they're gonna return and pave on Old 61 and 160th. And then, end of the month, hopefully they're done with all their asphalt, and then there's some concrete sidewalk work and stuff like that. Our crews out there were working on the storm sewer work now, so just kind of a prep work for that. So staying busy there. They're going up today to mill a little bit up at the north end of X14 into Johnson County. And that will have an asphalt wedge to provide a transition, and we don't expect them back to do X14 and G28 until the middle or end of the summer. So they will get Grandview done here this spring, be open for the 4th and all that. So progress there. Other meetings, went to a meeting with the solar farm people, and they're working on their process, I guess, so. Other than that, got a couple classes I'm gonna do over the next couple weeks. Guys in the field are out blading and rocking and things like that. Up to about 75% of our rock fall, so. Hopefully on this month, we'll be able to get that done and get back on to other things, so.
You got some stuff coming up for auction?
Auction, well, I reached out to our suppliers and our, our dump truck for this fiscal year is still supposed to be here in April, and then it's gotta go to Manchester, so we're hoping to have it by June. After that, we'll auction off some of our equipment, so.
Right.
Yeah, so that's going on.
Salt shed,
Bids are due today. I've already got some of them, so.
what do you got so far?
We got 3 so far, so. And then we're also taking, bids, I think, until Thursday on the office cleaning work, so.
Had much interest in that, yeah.
Well, I got 5 or 6 bids, so.
Huh, okay.
So,
Good.
yep. Usually if you get 1, you don't know, 2, maybe, but if you have 3, it's,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying there, so.
Yeah.
So, other than that, staying busy, I guess, so.
Adam, I have a question for you on
Yes,
the
sir.
rock. You said it went up this past year.
Yes,
At the quarry at Columbus Junction.
Yep.
What do they charge at Mediapolis Quarry and the L&W Quarry compared to what they charge here?
so, what is it? You don't quote me, I don't think I'm down to the last penny on this, but let's say the junction quarry is $14.30 a ton,
Okay.
right? 5 years ago, it was $10.50 a ton, right? So it's gone up that much. We buy 10,000 tons via a stockpile from Nelson down there by east of Mediapolis. And it's like 10 cents cheaper than River Products is now. So we get about 60,000 tons out of here and about 10,000 out of there. There is L&W west in Mediapolis there, down by Big Hollow. We used to get some rock out of there, but we don't anymore because it's like $1 a ton more than everybody else. So yeah,
That's good to know.
yep. So
You got
obviously through COVID, the 1 year we had a 15% increase in rock and, you know, nothing you can do about it.
You gotta factor in your time too.
Yep,
and-
yep,
and the
so.
Wear and tear on trucks.
So generally out of Nelson, so the Oakville district uses about 10,000 tons down in the Oakville district, which is Wapello East. And then down there, so most of that rock goes to there. We also pull a little bit out of there for the Morning Sun district. And I think prices continue to go the way they are. We may pull a little bit out of there to go up to this area. But most cases, it's quicker out of that junction, you know. You know, if you're running from there over to the bluff, it's an hour trip at least, so.
I see them go by my place
Oh, sure.
from Nelson's.
So
Yeah,
that's it for now.
okay.
All right.
Move on to item number 9. Erin Jones, I think she's online. Erin, you on there?
Yes, I am.
I have a proclamation in front of me.
Yeah, I work with we're a small council. I serve 4 counties for community partnerships for protecting children. I work out of Henry County. But I've been around about 10 years now, and you guys have signed multiple times for us. In Louisa County, we have a small group of folks that work on our planning committee for our child abuse prevention efforts in Louisa. So April is nationally is Child Abuse Prevention Month. And so yeah, we have the proclamation that we ask all of our counties to sign, and you guys have graciously done so in the past and agreed for us to be here today.
Be happy to do that. It's a little lengthy. I'll go ahead and read the whole thing. I hope everybody is patient. And I'll get through this as quickly as I can. April 1st, 2025, whereas prevention is possible with the right policies and investments, families and children can thrive and avoid contact with child welfare and other costly systems. And whereas early experiences of child impact them throughout life, both positively and negatively. And whereas every family and child is filled with tremendous promise, and we all have a collective responsibility to prevent adverse childhood experiences, foster the potential of every child, and promote positive childhood experiences. And whereas positive childhood experiences, such as loving caregivers and safe, stable, and nurturing relationships, play a vital role in helping children thrive by mitigating trauma and negative impact of adverse childhood experiences. And whereas families who receive the support they need before the crisis occurs are better equipped to provide safe, healthy, and nurturing environments, leading to children who are safer, healthier, and more helpful or hopeful about their futures. And whereas childhood trauma, including abuse and neglect, can have a long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects throughout their individual's lifetime and impact future generations. And whereas primary prevention of child abuse and neglect can reduce the lifetime economic burden associated with child maltreatment. And whereas strengthening families through access to concrete economic, social, and community-based supports reduces the likelihood of abuse and neglect and ensures children have the foundation for lifelong well-being. And whereas effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the partnerships created between child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and families. And whereas communities must make every effort to promote programs and activities that create strong, and thriving children and families. And whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to promoting the social and emotional well-being of children and families in the safe, stable, and nurturing environment. And whereas investments in prevention and initiatives such as home visiting programs, family strengthening policies, economic supports, and community-based child abuse prevention efforts are essential to building safer, healthier communities for children and families. And whereas prevention remains the best defense for our children and families. Now, therefore, I, Sean Main, Board of Supervisor Chair, do hereby proclaim April 2025 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Louisa County, Iowa, and urge all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to the task of improving the quality of life for all children and families. Together, we can create a state where every child can grow up happy, healthy, and safe with the hope of their future. There you go.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you very, very much for taking the time to do that.
We're happy. We're happy to. Thank you.
Mhm.
We'll go ahead and sign in the paper now.
Appreciate it. So while you're doing that, we do have an event that we're holding for the Fort County area this Friday at 2:00. It's a free film at the Capitol Theater. It is about, it's called Raising America. And it's about early childhood and shaping the future of our nation. And it's an hour and there's free popcorn and everybody is welcome. So it has some really great direction and things in policy that we can do that support families and protect kids from like in the proclamation says adverse childhood experiences causing trauma and then lifelong consequences to that, and as well as increasing positive childhood experiences and protective factors to keep them safe. So anybody's welcome to attend, and including you all.
What was
I'm sorry?
again? The date?
It's this Friday the 11th.
Okay. What time?
2:00.
Okay.
And I'll send a flyer to Selena and get that to you so she can share with you guys in case you do want to see it.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, have a good day.
You too.
All right, let's move right along to item number 10. Discussion and possible action to fill a vacancy of the county judicial magistrate commission term ending December 31st, 2026. I think we have Leanne Black.
I'll make a motion to nominate.
I'll second that.
Motion second, any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Carries. Okay, we got the sheriff, recorder, and auditor's quarterly third quarter report. I look that over.
It's over online. I
Yeah.
didn't see anything.
Yeah.
We made $61 on flat books. Wow. That's impressive.
I know.
You guys are good with it. I'll look for a motion.
And I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion second to approve the sheriff, recorder, and auditor's quarterly third report. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I don't see a place to sign. We'll sign.
There's no.
Okay. File. Okay.
I'll take them back.
Okay, we got, ambulance reports. You guys get copies of those?
I looked at them online.
I reviewed the totals. It doesn't look like there's anything online. They're kind of staying on target, so I'll add that to my, spreadsheet that I run for the emergency services so we can keep track of the money. I'll sign for you again. All report. They're at 208 year to date. I don't like it when they break records, but they seem to. Last item on our agenda is the discussion and action on the representative for our Southeast Regional Planning Loan Review Committee. Oh,
There we go. Can you hear me?
yeah.
Zach.
Good morning.
Good morning. How
I
you
don't
how
see
you
you on
doing?
here. Hold on,
Hang on.
we're looking for you. I don't see you. I hear you, but I don't see you. Oh, there you are.
Hey,
There, we got your lovely face.
thanks.
Okay, go ahead, get the floor.
Yeah, sorry I can't be there in person. I'm trying to toggle between your meeting and Des Moines County Supervisors meeting at the same time here. So, but no, thanks for giving me a few minutes here. One of the services we offer and that I manage here at the Planning Commission is our revolving loan fund program. So this is a low interest gap financing program that helps to create retain jobs here in Southeast Iowa. So we work with typically small companies, sometimes individuals that are looking to either start a business or expand an existing business or maybe buy an existing business, things like that, that's going to create and retain jobs. And we work with that individual or business and then a local bank. And we basically provide, as I mentioned, a gap finance. So if somebody needs, just for example, for easy math, $100,000 in working capital to expand their business, and maybe the bank would only loan them $50,000, they can apply to us, and we would provide the other $50,000 potentially at a low interest rate to help that business to grow or expand. So. That's kind of the quick overview of what that program is. And as part of that, we have a loan review committee that we manage that has 3 members from each county that we oversee: Des Moines, Henry, Lee, and Louisa. And you guys appoint members to the committee for Louisa County. And currently we have Mark Houston and Brooklyn Holcomb on our committee. And then Bill Small has been on there for quite a few years, and his term expired. And we were looking for another member to replace Bill, and after his terms of service, and reached out to somebody at Community Bank and Trust to be a member, but she didn't think she was the right fit, so she directed me to call Sean Allworth with Community Bank and Trust. And I've talked to him a couple times, and he's interested in serving on our committee. And so I was hoping that you guys would be willing to appoint him to our review committee. And if you have any questions or about our program or just kind of what the committee does, anything like that, I'd be happy to try and answer that for you.
No, but I'm not sure that there's a lot of people that realize that that service is available. And I guess that's kind of the supervisor's duty. If somebody comes and asks, that we're able to have that information to put them in contact with you. So
yeah, I would appreciate that.
yeah, it's nice to know that there's avenues for that. But I have the resolution in front of me, and I look for a motion to approve resolution 202514.
So moved.
No second.
Okay, that puts Sean Allworth on our loan review committee. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. There you go.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Zach.
Yep, anytime.
Nope, now you did it.
I did it.
If it gets signed, we'll see if you guys can find it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Appreciate it.
I want to write these.
Don, did you say there was record breaking on the ambulance for calls? Is that what you made that comment?
Well,
On,
no, we're at 200. Wapello does a really good breakdown. I've looked at this so many years, I'm really easy to see it. And the other ones do it too. I'm not saying they don't. But it seems like every year Wapello breaks their records on ambulance calls, and that's not a good thing.
And that just shows you how important the ambulance service is, and I think everybody should have that ingrained in their head when it comes to giving them money, because the ambulance is as you know, is the most important service we have.
It averages at least 2 a day.
Yeah.
Calls a day.
Yeah.
And that's just not Wapello, that's Wapello, Columbus, Morning Sun, I mean, there's a lot of calls there. We don't have a hospital here in town, so that's their first, when somebody has an emergency, that's their first people that
Yeah.
are there to help.
Just remember that at budget time.
That's life and death. Yeah. I don't have anything else on the agenda. If not, we'll go ahead and motion for adjournment. Adjourn. Thank you.